So people are telling you you need to build a network. How do you build your network? Well, I'm going to tell you right now the three things that you need to do in order to build your network. Whether you are a job seeker and looking for your next opportunity for employment, whether you are a job developer and it's your job and responsibility to help other people go from unemployed to employed, or whether you are the director of employer relations and you need to now build a book of business for your new nonprofit opportunity to be able to create job opportunities that the job developer can then, excuse me, funnel talent into so that they can get hired. Okay, so this, my name is Miles R. Goodlow. I am a senior job developer at a nonprofit in Los Angeles where it's my responsibility to be able to help people go from unemployed to employed. I got promoted within 2 months to senior job developer because they saw that I had strategies for success. I personally went through a 10-month experience of being unemployed because I was laid off from an education publisher company because they needed to balance the profit and loss statement. Um, who still kind of trips me up when I talk about it. But it was really a blessing in disguise. I'm super thankful. When I look back, I honestly can see all the areas in which I could have been a better employee, a better leader, a better person in order to make myself indispensable. I had great value. I was doing a great job. I got a lot of praise, but I was not indispensable. So there's good, there's great, there's phenomenal, and then there is indispensable. Tier four, top tier, diamond package. Okay, so coming into my role as a senior job developer, I'm like, I have to be indispensable. I have to see their expectations and exceed them, and then continue to do great. And at the very least, they can never say I didn't work hard. Maybe it just doesn't work out, but it did. It did work because I had daily activities and metrics that allowed me to be able to build my network with employers, the community, and being able to bridge those two spaces, right? Because a business on a street does not automatically mean that that business has a relationship with the community that it is in. And especially if you want to get people employed and make sure that they can get to and from work, the closer of the proximity of their work to their living situation is going to be absolutely crucial. In Los Angeles, the public transportation is just starting to really develop. I've been living here for pretty much all my life. And so I have to think about how I'm going to help people get to a job that's within an hour each way max in order for them to succeed, in order for me to have confidence, even talking to the employer when I submit their recommendation in that letter, when I'm setting up an interview for my clients, right? I got to make sure my job seekers are being able to actually succeed in that role and opportunity once they actually do get the offer. I got people who are getting employed in education and in security the most. Healthcare has a lot of opportunities, but the barrier to entry is higher, and it's usually an academic education and state certification that you really need. I do have an N for entry level, but you don't want to get stuck there, and that means you have to be a person committed to growing and developing your healthcare certifications at a state level so that you can get paid more. And now you build a career because you've been elevated from caregiver to CNA to LVN to RN, and you are on a relentless pathway for 3 to 7 years. 7 if you take the absolute slowest path, probably 10 years. But let's not extend it out. We got to have a little bit of time pressure so that we actually take advantage of the opportunity of a lifetime and the lifetime of the opportunity. So you're going to be able to build your network by doing these three things. One, whether you are looking for a job or you're the job developer or the employer partner, you want to go to job fairs and meet every single employer there. You want to start going to at least one job fair a week. So every year you're going to like 40 job fairs. Go so often, you start seeing the same people, and now you're like, hey, Jake, hey, James, hi, Daisy, hi, Dawn. Good to see you. How you doing, Michelle? What's up, Tamani? Okay, Marcus. Hey, what's up, Michael? Okay. Oh, all right, all right, all right. Yeah, no, I love Latifah. She's amazing. Yes, no, Nafisa is really a good person. You should meet Nafisa, actually. Have you? Right? And it's like these are the things that you want to start doing. That's how you're going to build your network. You're going to the same spaces where there's a lot of people, but you're going so consistently to these job fairs where there's a lot of people, employers who will have opportunities. If you're an employer and you're showing up to a job fair, you're hiring. We ask who's hiring, who really wants work, right? But then if you're at a job fair looking to put people into these roles, these are really tough roles. These are tough roles to fill. There are pros and there are cons. Pros, you're here, I have an opportunity, let's go. I got to pay the bills. I have a good chance of getting a job. But as we continue to go into it, we're looking for the job. But your first step is going to a job fair and meeting every employer there. 1A. Okay, are you ready for number 2? Number 2, you're meeting the employers, you need to get a business card. Get a business card. Get an email from a human being. Okay? I want Andy at yournextjob.com. I do not want HR-CA at we're not gonna hit you back.com. Your rejection is waiting.com. We're not into that. We're not doing that. Absolutely not. What we need to do is put ourselves in a position of success and have a human being that we can get there. Now, don't wrestle the person down to the ground and take their business card out. No. But what you do want to do is make sure that you have an ask. Oh, this is a great opportunity. Make sure you're having a good conversation too. Don't just go up there and say, oh, hey, hi, I'm Miles. By the way, what's your business card? Weird. Do not do that. Have an actual conversation. It's a job fair. It should take about 2 minutes. Okay, go up there and say, hey, wow, this is like a great table and opportunity. Can you tell me about your company? What do you all do? Great. Okay, so how did you get into the role that you have now with this company? Blah 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 blah. It's fantastic. I'm so glad to hear about your journey. That really kind of inspires me. I'm definitely interested in being able to work with this company. What is the best way to? I have a background in X, and so are you all hiring for X? Awesome. Yay or nay? You're like, okay, awesome, good to know. Maybe there's not some alignment. Can I get your card? I'm gonna take a look at the website and some of the careers, but I really would love to be able to stay in contact. Your story inspired me. Boom. Now they feel like, oh, I gotta give you my information. I'm an inspiration to you, right? Way to just kind of like force feed somebody into being a mentor for about 10 minutes, right? 2 to 10 minutes, right? Because you got a job fair, you got 40 tables, you gotta hit it, right? So, um, and unless you're getting there right when it starts, you don't have the full 4 hours, 3 hours of the job fair to just take your time. So you gotta give yourself a 10-minute 10-minute max at each table. It's just a good strategy when you're there. Okay, so 3. What are you gonna do is follow up. Super obvious. A lot of people go to job fairs, shake hands, think they got an opportunity, right? And if I'm a job developer, I'm asking those same questions. Um, but what I'm going to do differently, and that's what I've been doing over the last like 6 months, is I've been probably to over 35 job fairs now, and I've now hosted my own and got 20 people hired, over 400 people in attendance, and it was located at a local high school here in LA. So with that, it was a great turnout, and I was definitely the head of the snake. Definitely could not have done it alone. Oh my God. Every single team member was freaking needed, yo. You got 400 people coming through. If all 20 of us were not on site executing, fumble arena. But instead, we conquered it, lifting up the championships. It was amazing. If it was a championship game, I did get to hold up uh 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 like the trophy, it was fantastic. You know what I'm saying? But then definitely like holding it up with the team. You know what I mean? It's just fantastic, man. So it's been great. So if you haven't really caught on, one, you need to go to job fairs. Two, you need to go and get a business card. And then three, you need to follow up because most people have a great conversation at a job fair and then they never actually set a follow up email where they remind the person of the wonderful conversation, the inspiration, a little bit of their journey, drop in some little tidbits, right? This is just 5 sentences. This I just wanted to send this to you. And I know we just met a few hours ago at the job fair or yesterday at the job fair. You definitely want to keep it within 24 hours. Unless it's a Friday, you can get away with sending it out on a Monday. But keep that consistency and stay diligent and make sure that you're assertive by just being consistent and talking to them. And then once a week, it is absolutely okay to hit them up, even if they don't respond for 5 weeks in a row. Absolutely okay. Then you bonus tip: if you're a job seeker, apply for the job the same day or the next day. So when you follow up, you're like, I've applied for the job. It was great meeting you today. Please let me know if you have any more insights. Your story was an inspiration to me. I would love to just have coffee on me to be able to. I would love to have. They don't even say coffee on me because you're a job seeker. I just would love to have coffee and just get into that more. Job developer, you can absolutely do the same thing. If you want to meet with an employer partner, say you want to visit their office, be able to see what they have going on, just get a better understanding of how they operate their business so that you can better pre-qualify your clients for who's actually going to be a good, serious candidate for them to consider. And then never say person for them to hire. Candidate for them to consider. And as a director of employer partnerships, you absolutely must follow up and visit. Like for a senior job developer, do you need to visit? No. Job developer? No. You don't need to visit the office, but it's a nice thing, getting some coffee. What I like is that if you have an event like a job fair, I didn't know the date of the job fair in March, but I was using it as a reason for why we should connect. And then I followed up and sent them the information consistently over the month, at least monthly, but I aimed for weekly once I got closer to the job fair because it was like, okay, we're 6 weeks out, 8 weeks out. Let's just keep up this communication. I'm basically just emailing you once a week so you don't forget who I am. So you really take this as an opportunity to be successful, and you want to make sure that you want to expand your network, and you're doing so in order to be able to be a job developer, to create career pathways and job opportunities for people who are coming to you for help via your nonprofit or your employment center. Then this is the best strategy that you can implement. I was able to connect with over 70 different employers. I was able to have 28 show up for a job fair and then have an additional 20 nonprofits that have seen our work, know our work from the nonprofit at large. Shout out to my executive director and my manager who had great resource and nonprofit relationships. So we had health checks on site, was able to give away business attire. But having an event that you can invite your employers to really matters because if you're a job seeker, you're obviously talking about the roles and the opportunities and their career journey, right? Make it personal. And then for the senior job developers and my directors of employer partnerships, what you really want to do is make sure, director of partnerships, you go visit them in person, show that up. I went to go visit an academy called HTA. That relationship has been golden. Okay, they didn't show up to my job fair, but every time I send them a candidate, they call that candidate within 72 hours or less. And so I'll take that result and I'll put every single day, right? Because I got some that come to the job fair, maybe they're not responding as quickly, right? So the relationship all need a customized approach eventually, but it's great to just keep building, keep meeting, keep networking, keep having those relationships. And then that's the real key and value that you need to have when you're in workforce development. You got this. Let's go. If you have any thoughts, things that you think I missed, drop them down in the comments. Anything that you think I should add or talk about next time, drop that down in the comments. Tag me. I'm an HUMAN, dog. Real human doing this work. I'm serious about this because it's ridiculous how in this economy people can't really get a job at